What's going on, boys and girls? I just finished listening to Greg McElroy. Hang on. Greg McElroy of the SEC Network talked to John and Jimmy of Sports Talk in Knoxville, and pretty good interview. He talked very favorable of what he saw at the University of Tennessee when he was here covering the spring game last month. Talked mostly, about the coaching staff. And that's where it all starts. If you just look at last year for the Tennessee Vols, coaching, I think, was the biggest reason we set a record last year for losses. The UMass game, although we won it, was a game we very easily could have lost, and really, if you look back at it, should have lost, but we escaped with the win. That's a team that Tennessee, really, that's a team that anybody in any year in the SEC should not even think about. They should just walk out there and throw their first team out there and have that game in hand. If not by the end of the first quarter, certainly by halftime, and that wasn't the case last year. He talked about how different the practices are with Jeremy Pruitt and Butch Jones, and Jeremy Pruitt is a football coach. I asked several of the coaches on the Greenville football staff what they thought about Jeremy Pruitt, if they were happy with the hire, so on and so forth. And to a man, each one of them agreed that this guy's a football coach. Not a used car salesman like Butch Jones. Not a media darling like Derek Dooley. Not a cocky shithead like Lane Kiffin. So, that just, the more and more I look into how he's doing things at Tennessee, the more and more excited I get about what's going to happen at Tennessee. Not next year. I'm not stupid. We're definitely not winning any conference playoff games, championship games, I meant to say, or any playoff games next year. But we should win games that we annually should win, I think, like Vanderbilt, like Kentucky. Missouri, we'll have to see. And South Carolina, Will Muschamp has the Gamecocks going in a pretty good direction down there. And a lot of people thought when he took that job that it would just be a disaster from the word go. And one South Carolina fan in particular, who no longer makes videos, Richard, he was excited about the hire. And I just thought he was blowing smoke and trying to convince himself that it was going to be a good deal. But he turned out to be right. Things are looking up at South Carolina. Kentucky, team that beat us last year, things are looking up finally for Kentucky under Stoops. And Vanderbilt, to know that we have lost 3 out of 5 years to Vanderbilt still just blows my mind. I know Vanderbilt is not the Vanderbilt of old, but they're still Vanderbilt. And as bad as we were last year, we jumped all over them. I thought, we're going to finish out the season with a win. And we didn't. Not even close, in fact. Vanderbilt beat the dog snot out of it. 2 years in a row, Vanderbilt has crushed Tennessee. Say that again. Or listen as I say it again. 2 years in a row, Vanderbilt has crushed Tennessee. And we're not talking about the chess tournament or the robot building championships. We're talking about what Tennessee is supposed to excel at, and that's the foosballs. So anyway, I just wanted to back my car into a fence. I just wanted to pop on here and talk a little Tennessee football with you. I'll be doing a lot of that, I haven't been doing much of that lately. I need to shave. This thing's looking awful. What is that? Gray hair's gone wild. It's like 51 shades of gray. So anyway, we'll talk some more football soon. Catfish, man, I promise it's going to happen. Not sure when. It's going to happen, dude. You my boy. Everybody say a prayer for ACP Carter and his, I don't know what we'll call her, his baby mama. Haven't talked to him in a couple of days, but the last time I talked to him, they were having some issues with her, and I hope everything turned out okay. In case you didn't hear, ACP Carter is an expectant dad. Say that again, friends of ACP Carter. ACP Carter is going to be a dad. Wow. Go Vols. Your team sucks. And that's a wrap.